Welcome to Baseball Heat Podcast with Mike. I am your host, Miguel Mike Medina, and we are here to talk some Texas Rangers baseball with a fellow Rangers fan here, Zion Trammell, who is a writer himself. Zion, how's it going, man?
I'm good. Thank you. I really appreciate you having me on here. Excited to talk about the Rangers and talk about baseball. Let's do it.
So to quickly, for the viewers who are tuning in to watch this, have you been a Rangers fan your whole life? And do you write for the Rangers? Explain a little bit, just quickly, please.
Yeah, so I've been a Rangers fan my whole life. My dad grew up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, so that kind of passed on to me, my fanship of the Rangers. And yeah, I write for Texas Rangers on SI, do a little social media work for them as well. So it's I've been a long time Rangers fan.
Glad to hear that, man. Best of luck to you and wish you many more success. The Rangers, they played in a 2023 World Series rematch against the Arizona Diamondbacks, and they won 7-4. Jack Peterson, he hit leadoff. He set the tone for the team. Brandon Nimmo, he was hitting number two before he exited the game due to a sprained ankle. He went 3 for 4, which includes a triple. What do you make of Brandon Nimmo hitting number two? And also, what were some of your takeaways from last night's game?
Well, whenever the Rangers match up with the Diamondbacks, it always brings back memories of that 2023 World Series and the good memories that come from that. But yeah, it was definitely a bit of an adjustment from Skip Schumacher to just end up putting Jock Peterson into the leadoff spot. It's the first time this season that when Brandon Nimmo is in the lineup that there's someone else in the leadoff spot. It was definitely a different strategy from Skip Schumacher. I think the idea is that Jock Peterson's been getting on base pretty consistently, and hey, it paid off in a big way in the first inning. The Rangers the night before they got blanked 1-0, and they weren't able to generate a lot of offense. So for Jock Peterson to start the bottom of the first with a home run is a really good way to get the offense going. And hey, we'll see if he does it again today. I'm not sure what the status of Brandon Nimmo is, but he seemed to produce well in the two spot with a 3 for 4 game. So I think it paid off pretty well.
According to what I've been reading, Brandon Nimmo, he's willing to give it a try. He feels that hitting number two could work out for him. According to the Skip Schumacher, that Brandon Nimmo did not want to come out of the game. He was being a pain in the butt about it, but that's just Brandon Nimmo. It doesn't matter whether he has a hamstring injury, um, ankle injury. He wants to be out there, wants to play. That's just how he is. And speaking of which, he has been nagging with hamstring injuries for the past couple of weeks. But Brandon Nimmo, he's a gamer, and that's one of the things that gravitates him towards his teammates, his coaches, the fan base. So it will be an interesting dynamic to see how he will do hitting number two since he's accustomed to hitting leadoff. But let's see what happens. It's considered day to day his ankle injury, so they got lucky in that regard.
Yeah, 100%. Could have been a lot worse. He stepped on the foot of the first baseman for the Diamondbacks. I can't remember who it was, but it was kind of a close play, and was like limping immediately, and you thought, uh-oh, things could kind of go bad here for Nimmo. But he actually stayed in the game for one batter, and then they decided to take him out of the game. Yeah, he's a gamer. He's a great player to have for the Rangers. You can't say enough good things about him. Just exactly what the Rangers needed, and to be able to exchange him for Marcus Simeon and to improve substantially on the offensive end when you're making a trade like that is huge. So I'm happy he's with the Rangers, and hopefully, he can give it a go on Wednesday and or tonight and see, moving forward how he's good health wise.
What do you think the Rangers need offensively to move the needle?
I think they need a little more run production. I think is the biggest thing. Where you talk about a team that on paper has got some pretty good bats in the lineup. Corey Seager, Nimmo, we've talked about substantially. Josh Young, he's had a great start to the season. There are some really good players in this lineup, but I think the problem is that they're failing to execute with runners in scoring position. And I think they need somebody to be able to step up when you get those opportunities, to be able to capitalize with runners in scoring position. I think Corey Seager, he's gotten off to a bit of a slow start, a lot of strikeouts, and his batting average has dipped below 200. He's in a midst of, I believe, an 0 for 23 stretch right now, which is very uncharacteristic of Corey Seager. Not something that you want to worry about long term, but definitely I think that's the biggest thing the Rangers need because it's been a struggle. It has been a struggle overall. Now, last night was great, 7 runs, 11 hits, but there's been a lot of those games where they can only manage 0, 1, 2 runs. And a lot of that has to do with getting guys on base, but not being able to do much with it.
Last but not least, Jacob deGrom recently recorded 1,900 strikeouts, and that happened in the first inning against the Chicago Cubs. Oh man, a guy that I've seen him play throughout his entire career. I feel that if it weren't for injuries, he would have been had more than 2,000 by now. When he's healthy, he's one of the best in the game. He becomes the second fastest pitcher since Randy Johnson to record that many strikeouts. What do you make of Jacob deGrom? Obviously, he's the ace for this team. What do you, in your opinion, Zion, how will you characterize Jacob deGrom?
Oh man, there are so many ways to describe Jacob deGrom when you talk about a guy that when he's healthy is still at 37 years old, one of the best pitchers in baseball. I characterize him as just an absolute gamer. Like he is incredibly fun to watch. You know that when he goes out there, he is going to give his best every single time. And we saw that in his last start. I believe that was on Sunday against the Cubs, where he goes 7 innings, 10 strikeouts against one of the best lineups in baseball. He's a guy that, hey, if you're in a little bit of a losing streak, he's going to find a way to put your team in the best position to win. And last year we got to see the full potential of Jacob deGrom in a Rangers uniform. In 2023, he's only able to make a handful of starts before he's out for the season. And then in 2024, out for most of the year. And in 2025, he's finally able to make all of his starts, and he had a great season. And so far, it's been a lot of the same. So yeah, I'd say a true gamer, a guy that is just incredibly difficult to hit. And he is a staple in this Rangers rotation. Um, they win a lot more games because of him. And I think that the Rangers are lucky to have him and really excited to see what he can do this season. And we've already seen some of his greatness very early on.
How many wins do you think he'll have by the end of the season if he stays healthy?
How many wins you said?
Yeah.
So he's at 3 right now. I think he could get. I think he could get to double digits, assuming the offense kind of picks him up. I think that's the big thing. He's had a couple games where he should have gotten a win, but the offense doesn't pick him up. That's pretty eerily similar to what happened to him with the Mets. But I think he can get 10 wins maybe if the offense picks him up. It's definitely not going to be a lack of him maybe not producing. It's more of can he get enough run support? But I think he can reach that total.
Well, Zion, thank you so much for joining Baseball Heat Podcast with Mike. Hopefully the Rangers can, make a run this year to the postseason. I It's still unbelievable what they did 2023. In that World Series, I picked them to win that series, but it was one of the most unpredictable World Series matchups, but I love it because I love unpredictability. I'm not one of these baseball guys or sports fans in general that I want to see the big market cities all the time
Yeah.
competing for the title. So the fact that we had Texas and Arizona for that season, and obviously for media people, they hated it because the ratings and all this other stuff, but I didn't care. I liked it. And I was happy to see Texas won, especially after that heartbreaking 2011 World Series against
Oh
the
yeah.
Cardinals, which I know many Rangers fans, they don't want to think about it, they want to remember, but at least 12 years later, all heal wound after that. So,
Absolutely. Yeah. It was definitely not great for, ratings or whatever, but I enjoyed every step of it. It was really fun to watch. And yeah, very unpredictable World Series, Rangers, Diamondbacks. You don't really see that too often with those, and I don't think many people saw that coming. So it was a great series, and I'm glad the Rangers won it.
all right, Zion, hopefully we do this more often. And, best of luck to you and everything that you're doing.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. It was fun being on here. Best of luck to you as well. Yeah, hopefully we can do some more.